builders, parents, and collectors. On this episode of the Creation Evaluation Station, I'll be evaluating this. It's Season 12 Master of the Mountain Lego Ninjago set called The Journey to Skull Dungeon. It's got kind of a long name, but yeah, it's the next set in the Season 12 line, and it's a little bit bigger than the last. But before I get into it any further, I want to let new viewers know that I do in-depth reviews of models and construction kits, both new and old, mostly Lego, but other products as well. I also do reviews and discussions of other creative works like movies, video games, and animation. And because these are in-depth reviews, they can be on the long side, so make sure you're using the timestamps down in the description or here on the little red bar to jump around to your favorite parts. I'm not going to force you to watch all the piece count, the pieces, and anything else you aren't interested in. So you can hop around, do that to see your favorite part, or you can use them as bookmarks to come back to at a later time to finish what you missed. So yeah, let's take a closer look at that box. The previous set I didn't actually have any of the ninjas in it. It had just Master Wu and a goblin. But this actually has the ninjas. Got some kind of dungeon or path to a dungeon, as the description is trying to say. Show the characters off there. And here's the back. What's really great about these sets is there's actually a game that was developed around it, much like a D&D type game. Although I think it's more like a board game by the looks of it, and basically your play set here is the board, and they connect together. The other sets connect together with this. Now the one I had previously was just a dragon, so that really doesn't, but there's a bunch of these that do, and we'll be checking them all out and probably have a video connecting it all together and stuff. But yeah, there's like path, and there's these dice spinners and stuff that they use. Pretty cool. So, getting down to its details, it is set number 71717. Very weird number, kind of fun. It's for ages 7 and up, and has 401 piece. And it originally retailed for $29.99, so 30 bucks. It is, of course, discontinued now, but it was released in the June of 2020. So, yeah, this is going to be fun. It's going to be my first one of the kind of core of this set, of this wave, with the actual feature game features. It looks kind of cool, and I really liked the previous, or the next season's island. I'll put a picture of it here and also put a link to my review, so if you want to check out my ideas on that. But yeah, I've never been a big fan of play sets, but that one was really cool, and hopefully these are too. We'll have to check them out. And I think the armored ninjas are pretty cool, even if it's heavy armor for a ninja doesn't really make much sense. But anyways, this is a really thick box. It's pushing out on the sides. It's pretty hefty for such a small box. So let's go release the beast and see what's inside. Here we have the contents of the box. We got our instruction booklet. That's pretty good thickness, nice size. We have this poster or something. We'll take a closer look at that one in a moment here. We have a couple stickers, not a lot, and a little pamphlet for Legoland, where kids go free if you have the coupon. We have bag 1, bag 2, and bag 3. And all these are pretty large bags full of a lot of parts. And then we have one big ugly rock piece. This is what you would call a barf. Barf, as in big ugly rock piece. And then we also have this, which is a dual molded die spinner. Kind of cool. But let's take a look at that poster before we open up everything. So we got this insert here that basically shows how to play and also how to connect them together. Kind of cool. How to play. There's a QR code here. It probably gives instructions as well. And on the back we have this big map that is supposed to be an addition that you can put the sets. You can see this set would go right there. And this is how you would connect all the sets together, I suppose. I'll have to try that out eventually. But that's what this came with, which is kind of cool. Here we have the contents of the first bag, but once again, these are the loose pieces here. And this is a burp, not a barf, excuse me. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Yes, it's a burp, a big, ugly rock piece. It stands for that. Anyways, onto the other parts. Now, I didn't quite think there was a lot of pieces in here because there seemed like a lot of larger pieces, but there ends up being quite a few smaller pieces too. We've got our figures over here, including one bad guy and two ninjas. We have these awesome looking shields. Those look amazing. The print jobs on them. Awesome. And like I said, a lot of little stuff in here. Got more of these trans green flames that we saw in the previous set. Orange pieces. Yeah. A lot here. Here we have bag 2. Once again, we have a lot of pieces, both big and small, like this large plate. And quite a few other plates in here, smaller though. Some large bricks like this, and the tall ones over here. Got orange bricks, but we also have transparent orange bricks, so we definitely have some magma stuff going on. We got trans orange slopes, trans orange 1x2 tiles. We have trans orange 1x1 bricks. We also have a trans blue crystal. I haven't seen the crystal piece in a long time. Saw that and thought about the old miner sets, which I have some of them. We'll probably get to them eventually. I don't know which ones I have. They kind of blur together. I know there were different ways. But yeah, there's quite a bit here. Here we have the parts for the third and final bag. Not quite as many parts in here, but once again we have a couple big ones. And some small stuff. We have our last ninja, looks like Cole here. And one of these cool swords. I think that's a reverse of the one we had from the other set. I'm not sure. Quite a few bar pieces in here, and a lot of little pieces in general. We have some red rubies. We have an orange, transparent orange tooth piece. We have some transparent green flames again. I don't know if we'll have any extras in this set, but yeah, a lot of little stuff. A lot of these little arm pieces, those arm pieces, headlight pieces. Here we have our leftover parts, and got some good useful things here, like a katana. Although none of our ninjas actually have katanas in this set, so you might want to just give them that. We got a handle piece and a bar. We also have another one of those transparent green flame pieces left over. Nice red gem for your treasure collection, and some other things like got this spike. Could be used for making a weapon. In fact, you could easily make a weapon with the leftovers of these. So yeah, some nice leftovers. We have all our characters here for this set. Starters, this orc guy here is Mert. I think he's an orc. Maybe he's a troll. Then we have Jay, Cole, and Lloyd, of course. And there's associated colors. Now, they got all new gear for this wave of sets, and they look awesome. First, let's look at that armor for this troll orc guy. It looks like it's dual molded. I'm pretty sure it is. That's a pretty nice piece. Haven't seen it anywhere else before. I have seen these the ninja's armor used before, but I have not seen that particular piece before. And we'll strip all these guys down of their armor so we can see their prints a little bit better. But first we want to check out some of this new gear as well. And look at these shields. And we got 3 of them here. That beautiful print on it. And then some of their weapons. I mean, look at this Morning Star. That's a cool design. The other weapons are, yeah, okay. You know, Lloyd's got his normal tasseled sword, although it's a like steel sword instead of the golden one. And then just take one of these off so you can kind of need to partially strip them down so you can see their armor. But yeah, there's the armor piece. You got that new helmet that well, it's not supposed to be a helmet. It's supposed to be, well, I guess these are helmets, but traditionally the ninja's cowl. I hope that there is more of the metal underneath that, because technically a hood is just made out of material, and just having a faceplate, I mean, does protect your face, but there's the rest of your head to consider as well. And they got one really big shoulder pad. The other one's just got a little thing there. And then there's a stud on the back of that, so you can pop that off. Just a single stud. I mean, this is good so they have someplace to put their weapon. Nice. Let's take off the rest of their gear. So we've got them stripped down of their gear, and my oh my, did I make a boo-boo. This is definitely not Cole. This is Nia. I guess I assumed it was Cole because its main color is mostly black, but she does have some light blue in there. Didn't really look at it close. That was my bad. Didn't even pay attention to the face. But once you put their helmets on, it's really hard to see their faces anyways. But anyways, getting back to their prints. We got some really nice printing here for our ogre friend here. Mert here, he's got some really nice printing. He's got his boulder necklace, or whatever that's supposed to be, rock necklace there, and his metal loincloth, whatever he's got going on there, printing on his legs, look really nice. And then Jay is very interesting. They all have very interesting chest pieces. He's got some kind of plate on his chest. They got a little bit of male patterning. They must be wearing like armor over their gis, is what it looks like. Got printing on the legs. This is a little bit on the dark side to really see a lot of the detail. Neo over here has got some really fancy patterning there in that light blue. And some more printing on the knees, or legs, and looks a lot better on her. A little bit brighter. You can see what's going on. Same here with Lloyd. I mean, I think they purposely went for darker colors with this wave, just because, whatever. And yeah, he's got some nice printing there. He's got a smaller armor piece there, and it's got the dragon there on pattern on it though. That's kind of cool. Jay is probably the least impressive of all these. Nice belt buckle, although he also has a sash down here as well, so it's kind of weird. Yeah, some nice leg printing on there as well. And we get their back faces, which the ogre guy here does not have a back face, just got a scale pattern there, which continues onto his back, and there's the other half of his necklace, stone necklace. Well, patterns on the front is pretty much continued on the back for most of these guys. Lloyd's got a few more straps on the back. It's kind of weird. Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, they do come up and around and go underneath the metal part that he's got there. It's interesting. But yeah, not bad looking figures overall. Definitely different for Ninjago. We have everything put together here, so let's check it out. I'm going to start here. Actually, we'll start with this dice, because we'll check this out. This is basically a spinner dice, which determines how far you're supposed to go on this board. It's got 2 studs in the very bottom. Now you might want to do this without their weapons on, because imagine the weapons are gonna really throw things off weight-wise and basically end up with weighted dice. But take it and you spin it. Try to get a good spin. There you go, something like that. And then take whatever's on the top here. So we're moving one space. There's also symbols here. I'm not sure what that is. I have to read more about the rules of the game, but that's how you would do it. So you got 1, 2, 3. So you get 1 or 3 for steps. Like I said, I'm not sure about what the hearts and skulls mean, but probably an additional rule, because there are certain tiles that they're supposed to have some stickers on. I did not put them on, and maybe you're supposed to roll for whether you get damaged or survive or whatever. So yeah, that's the way this dice works, which very expensive, nice looking piece, just not very practical for much of anything else. Next, let's look at this. Now this is, fortunately there's only one of this. This is basically your status bar and your inventory for your character, because you get basically 3 hearts, and you get not 3 lives, but maybe that's your health points there, and as you get hit, they get knocked down, like so. So you can keep track of your score. Now, unfortunately, there's only one of these, but I imagine by the time you get all the sets, you might not have enough for all the ninjas, but you should have a good amount. And then you got this little basket here that you can put whatever weapons or loot they find. Which there's a gem hidden up there, and there's a blue crystal. Where did the blue crystal go? I think it's hidden under the staircase here. And then, of course, there's your special weapon that's up at top here. So there's a lot of different things you could loot as you go along. So that's kind of neat. I mean, it's kind of disappointing you only got 1 for the whole thing, but it's something you can kind of collect and get more of as you get the other sets. So now onto this thing. We got kind of a opposable island here. Not really an island, I guess. I mean, it looks like it's in a magma base, but you got joints throughout this whole thing, and this part here can easily detach. It's only got 2 clips there. They can be clipped on. So if you want to remove that, you can. There's also a clip here on the very tail end here to clip on to whatever else other sets you're going to do, or maybe you build something yourself. And then each of these little sections here are on a hinge, so you can change the shape of this if you want, like that. You got hinge there, maybe a complete circle around there, off to the side, stuff like that. Basically, these tiles here with only these 1x4s with only 2 studs on them are basically your playing area where you're supposed to move across the board. And you'll see here there's a spider here in this one, and then where I have Nia standing here, this is actually a trap one. This is probably where you would roll and see if you got a skull, then you would end up setting off the trap, which does this. Doing! It explodes out, and part of it falls off, and you end up getting thrown into the lava. It's pretty fun little trap there. And then you got the spider to fight here. Then up here you've got this boiling soup or whatever that can get knocked down on top of you. Now there's no trigger for this. You just kind of knock it over with your finger. I mean, it's only attached by 1 stud. And you would assume that the troll guy up here, orc, whatever he's supposed to be, would be knocking it over and kicking it down on top of you. And then over here we have our little prison slash crane, but it actually works. I'll show you in a moment here, but there's a thing on the back that you can twist. Of course, once it hits the ground, it's done. Imagine you don't want it to hit the ground because there's lava. But yeah, you can twist it all the way up to the top, bring it all the way up. It's about there. The door opens up there, and there's Jay. Nothing too special about this. I mean, the getting this to work with the chain is actually kind of nifty. Other than that, we got the back side here. And yeah, there's the crystal right down in there. Zoom into there. Right there. Got that blue crystal. Right down in there. So yeah, we got some hidden treasures throughout this thing. And then inside here is a bed. Now I don't know if this is supposed to be a rest stop for our ninjas, or maybe our ogre guy sleeps down here when he's not busy harassing ninja warrior guys, whatever they are supposed to be. Yeah, and this is just the thing that you turn and it lifts up. Nothing too amazing, but it works. Gets the job done. You can fling it all the way up top like that. But yeah, and there's that gem that's hidden too, and you can access it from the other side. There's a couple boards that slide around. So yeah, there's some hidden treasure here. Got to admit that this must be a warm place to sleep. But yeah, that's it. So let's head back to the desk, give this a final evaluation. Alright, we're back here at the desk. I'm going to give this my final thoughts here first before I go into the final eval. Because I'm kind of disappointed with this. Now, I said at the beginning of the video that, yeah, I was hoping for the island set that came out later after these. And I guess I got my expectations up too high for this. This is not terrible, but the original island, it had like traps all over the place and interesting trap doors and stuff like that, and there was also lots of space to play on the actual set, the island, so to speak, the village. Meanwhile, this is very linear, but that's what they're going for, because this is basically kind of like a board game. Now, there are some choices, like you get to the stairs here and you can either go up the stairs and continue on up here, or you can climb down and go underneath in the cave down here, which just happens to have a bed. I don't know, I think they could have done a little bit more with that, but that's kind of, you know, there's an option to rest, which is kind of a good thing when you're out adventuring. A safe place to rest. But yeah, this is different than that, and I guess I shouldn't compare them. For also, this is a $30 set, and that was, I think, a $50 set, so there was a lot more parts and stuff to work with. I think I might have been expecting too much from this. Other than that, I mean, it's okay. I think it could have used a little bit more gimmicks, maybe. So, getting to my eval, which we'll talk of, get some more details with that. As far as appearance, the figures look amazing. I like all the figures, the bad guy, the new designs for the armored ninjas, ninja warriors, whatever you want to call them. They look great. The set as a whole looks okay. There's nothing too tremendous about the appearance of it. I mean, it's kind of a rocky, cavernous area with magma underneath it. Nothing too amazing looking, and there's nothing bad, looks bad here. But there's nothing amazing as well. And I gave it kind of a 9. There's nothing here to wow me in appearance wise, except for the characters, but the actual build, not really. So I ended up giving appearance a 9. Now, as far as functions, there is, a couple different things here, like you got your spinner die, which is kind of cool. You got the exploding platform here, and you have the crane over here. But I don't feel like everything works. That stuff works fine. Even this crane works, for how simple it is, actually works pretty good. And it is pretty simple design. As far as function goes, there was nothing super amazing here. Feels like maybe they could have added a little bit more, maybe. There's the ability to change the terrain a little bit. That's nice and all. That kind of can get it to appear the way you want it to appear, or just change it up so it looks different. If they're, I don't know, going back through and the maze changes on them or something. But I had given function a 9. Just nothing super amazing here either. And it feels like they could have just added maybe a little bit more to it. But part of the thing is the function is the actual game as well. So, you're designing this terrain to play on, which is kind of part of the function as well. Now, as far as fun goes, building the set was, it was okay. But there's plenty of fun value here. Part of it is that function that I'm talking about, the function of playing a role-playing type game as you move across the surface here to get whatever goal you're trying to get at, whether it's to take a nap, rescue somebody in the cage, or get this awesome sword that's sitting up here, or the gems or the crystals or whatever else you're trying to do here. So yeah, and some of the features are fun. I mean, this exploding platform thing here, I love that. This I'm not thrilled with, although some people might like it more than I do, which, each their own. Knocking over the cauldron, it's kind of iffy, but overall, the actual aspect of playing the game is great, and I gave fun a 10. It kind of makes sense, and then when you add this onto some of the other ones, and you have an even bigger place to play, you got more goals, you got different choices you can make. It increases that, but that just to self-contained, it's pretty neat, and I gave it a 10. Now, as far as techniques, there's some interesting things they did for the exploding and the crane here, which is simple, like I said, but it works. But overall, there really isn't a lot of that interesting techniques going on here, and I kind of just gave it a 9. So, kind of mid, nothing spectacular, nothing bad, which is always important, not to have bad things. And yeah, you take all that up, you add it up, what do you get? What is that? 27, 37. You get 37, divide that by 4, and you get a 9.25. Now, we round up to the nearest half here on this channel, so round that up, and you will get a 9.5, and that is our average score and our final evaluation score, because we're not really going to talk about price since this has been discontinued for quite a while now. I will talk about it briefly, but yeah. So the final eval score is a 9.5. An overall decent set. Yeah, it's really nothing really bad here. My disappointment was my expectations were higher than they probably should have been. It's a smaller set. It's got a whole different kind of design philosophy around it other than that island set. So I should have thought about that. But overall, it's still a decent set. Now, as far as price, like I said, we're not going to give it a grade, but we'll go over it really quick here. It was $29.99. It had 401 piece. Don't forget that one piece. And you end up with, like, what was it, 7? Yeah, 7 cents per piece, which is really good. It's an overall decent set. It would have gotten a G for good. That price is really good, and really good considering there's a burp in it. The big ugly rock pieces are big giant pieces that are expensive, and you even have this piece, which is probably, it's large and it's dual molded, which can be expensive as well. So surprisingly, the price is really good for this. But yeah, my expectations kind of soured this set on me. But now I know what to expect from these going forward. You know, a much linear path. You're not going to have as much options and area to play with. Because I really like that island, because there was a cave underneath, and that cave had a large area. The ground had a large area. The top that you had, there was a little prison cell there. There was a lot more going on, and a lot of just open play space. Even though, you know, you got open space here you can play, but technically I think that's supposed to be lava, and you shouldn't play in lava. It's dangerous. But yeah, so those are my overall thoughts. Final eval. You guys let me know what you think about it down in the comments down below, and if there's anything you'd like to say about my video that would help me change things around, let me know. Make things better. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what is on your mind. And if you're new here, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, and you can like whether you like the set or not. As long as you enjoyed the video, that's more important than what you think of the set. If you sub, make sure you hit the follow, the notification bell, and also go down into the description and click on, I got links to Facebook and Twitter. Go on there, follow me, because you'll get the video releases notifications faster that way than YouTube, unless things change with YouTube. But yeah, do that. Don't have to do both. Either one is fine. May branch out to other social media sites as well, but there's also a Patreon down there if you want to check that out. There's really not much there. I just have it set up for $1 a month at the moment. I need to do more with that. Just haven't had the time, and I don't know when I'm going to have the time, but you can check out what's there right now if you want to help out more directly. That's one way to do so. But other than that, anything you do will help the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. So that's it for me here at the Creation Evaluation Station, reminding you that creativity is key.